opening up. Him and Gangrel, Gangrel runs the school and his partners with CCW and Bruce and all those guys down there. They all always made sure that Kevin had work, and Kevin contributed so much to them and came up with the angles, the story angles, the plot lines, and everything. And so that was sort of like Kevin's last run, and we wanted CWF to really take to the air. And a year ago, this past June, not this past June, the one before that, we did CCW TV tapings in Pompano Beach, Florida, and they were tremendous. They were some of the best stuff we've ever filmed and I've ever been involved with. And the production was incredible. Not only was I there, Karen was there. It was Blake, what's his name? Trooper Blake, whatever was there.
He's been on the show. You could catch that on the Monte and the Pharaoh.
Yeah, Blake was there. I'm trying to think who else. Brian Brock, the Crown, a lot of the CCW regulars, Cha-Cha Charlie, Gangrel obviously won the CWF heavyweight title from Alex Chamberlain. It was all the product of Kevin. Bill Alfonso was involved. I had we had a tag team matches. We actually did me and Brian Brock had this amazing brawl like outside the parking lot that went all over the freaking building into the parking lot, and it was just incredible. And it was the atmosphere was great. It was like Florida was. It was like Eddie Graham was watching down on us. You had pictures of Dusty Rhodes, Eddie Graham, and everyone. It was just such a fucking good vibe, and but it ran into some hiccups, and it's still not dead. It's still alive, and still in production. We're gonna be working on it soon, hopefully, and now Kevin's picture will be up there looking down on everybody, and it's just like one of those things that Kevin always wanted to have that one last run. And was it jealousy? A lot of it was jealousy, because I think people were afraid that once Kevin's mind opened up and Kevin spoke, people wouldn't have jobs, because Kevin would have a job.
Yeah, but you know what, Andrew? To be fair, I thought Kevin and yourself actually were a little too nice. I mean, I'm not going to attack Hannibal on the channel, but allowing that nutcase into what you guys were trying to build screwed up a lot of stuff, right? And I know you're friends with the guy. I'm not asking you to trash. I'm just saying Kevin knew better, He
knows how I feel. That got us banned from Texas. That shit got us banned from Texas.
Right.
That got us banned from Texas. And to this day, Kevin and I would not get booked on anything in Texas. We still could not get booked. We got blacklisted in Texas, Kevin and I.
Mike, I'm starting to feel better about giving Kevin a hard time about Hannibal the last time he was in studio.
Yeah, no, Jimmy, and that conversation, you were.
I mean, Andrew, we say what it's like. You know what I mean? And you were
100% right on that when you brought that up to Kevin, right? Because again, I'll call him a nutcase because he's a nutcase. You letting that guy into your organization, I don't know what you're doing. It was a huge mistake. But anyway, I don't want to make this about Hannibal.
That whether or not you were going to have a definitive great career with WWE is not the issue. The fact is that that whole situation screwed you out of potential cash from Vince. How does the court not give you anything? There's got to be something.
He ended up, he lost. He owes me. We had an actuary calculate how long an average wrestler lasts in WWE, what the average amount of money they make is, and that's what the decision was based on. I also had some damages. For instance, the first treatment to get me cured of Hep C didn't work, so I had to take an experimental treatment the second time, which cost me $80,000, and I had to take 6 months off of work while I was on that treatment, so it cost me a lot just to get cured from this disease. I also was doing one job working with violent handicapped people, which I got laid off from when they found out I had Hep C. So it even affected me in my regular income. But the thing is, I would have had to press criminal charges within 2 years of getting cut, but I didn't know I had Hep C till 2009.
Right.
And it was at that point I had double blood matches with was Abdullah the Butcher.
Right.
So we were reviewing the tapes of my matches with Abdullah, and it was actually one of my camera guys that saw the footage of Abdullah cutting me with the blade.
The same blade.
And then, so that's exactly, that was what the whole case was based on, him cutting me with the used razor blade. It wasn't just us bleeding in a match, because when two people are bleeding from small razor cuts in a match, blood is flowing outwards. It may or may not get into the actual cuts, but sharing a razor blade, that's a proven way of catching Hep C. So that's what that whole case was based on. That's why I can't say. I know Jacques Rougeau has Hep C. He's going through the treatment now. He's wrestled Abdullah in the past. Billy Graham had Hep C. He got cured. He wrestled Abdullah in the past.
Here's a 3-part question then. Did you get any money from Abdullah? If not, did you get an apology from Abdullah? And probably the most important question of that, obviously after your match with Abdullah, you don't know you have contracted Hep C. Did you go into any other matches where you drew blood with a different wrestler, and were you concerned for that wrestler, and did you inform them once you knew?
There was one wrestler who I had a single blood match with in 2008 named Jeremy Prophet, and I did inform him, and he got himself tested and he was clear. So that was one thing that I was concerned about, because that was one of the first things that popped into my mind, was Jeremy, who I was friends with. For Abdullah, here was the issue. We got the judgment in Canada, and it took 2 years to get the judgment endorsed in the US. In that 2 years, he was able to transfer properties. He was able to sell his main restaurant, which he also owned the property of, sell the property. So in order to get the money now, I would basically have to sue the people that bought the properties off of him, because you're not allowed to actually liquidate your assets after you have a judgment. But that's a whole other lawsuit. And I've already spent literally tens of thousands of dollars on the first lawsuit. So I don't want to be involved in lawsuits anymore. So he does owe me a couple $1 million. We'll see when he passes away. His estate will be held, because I do have a lien against him.
Right.
So we'll see what happens with that. If he ever that's the other thing. Like he sold his business. He does have one restaurant left that's not under his name, and it's under an incorporation. So we can't garnish the income he's getting from that secondary restaurant. Okay. So it's just been unfortunate that this slime ball. No, he hasn't apologized, even though we have his records. He never even publicly admitted that he has Hep C, and he's taken no apology, and he certainly hasn't paid anything of the judgment.
Boy, you've handled this well. I would be in a rage. That's
well,
all I got to say. I don't know how you handle this so well.
I will never attend a convention that he is at.
Yeah.
Myself personally, I might send other crews, because I don't want to be in front of him.
The people to see. Could you forgive that? Thank you.
That was a hearty no for those of you who did not pick that up on the microphone. Thank you. There it is.
But
from Mitch.
John Arizzi's all forgiven.
Bullshit. He doesn't even say goodbye after 3 days of being nice to you. What the fuck? What are you talking about? I hope you choked on that ham bone.
I hope John forgives all the hot dogs that he ate.
And meanwhile, those two idiots are going to go, they're going to get all mad at us and shit. Hey, don't be such a mark. It's a shtick, asshole.
Anyway.
Or is it?
This is some upsetting news, Maria.
Or is it?
Maria, this is for you. I've got some sad news, so I want everybody to listen up.
What?
Our friend Hannibal, I've got some inside news.
He fell and hurt his tum-tum?
No, it's worse than that.
He stubbed his toe.
It's worse than that.
He's got, he's got acne.
See, you're not taking my conversation seriously.
Not at all. No, what's wrong with Hannibal? We know everything is wrong with him.
No,
he puts the lotion
it's bad news.
What? What do you mean?
Blaze has dumped Hannibal.
Blaze has dumped Hannibal.
You know the girl he keeps making out with on all those videos, the hot chick?
Yeah.
In the shower. You saw that whole video or whatever, right?
What happened?
She dumped him.
What'd she take off Blood Hunter's mask?
From what?
Saw what was there?
See, I'm in the biz. I'm in the biz.
You've been shocked by Rip Rogers?
No, not yet. Not yet.
You're not in the biz.
No, that's
You've
right.
Been shocked by Rip Rogers.
You're right.
What's
I forgot.
Wrong with you? Okay, go ahead.
Inside information is that Blaze could not handle the hate that Hannibal was getting for hacking up that That poor old. I'm going to correct myself, fans out there, because I know a lot of people got angry when I called him a kid.
Even though you got a couple of decades.
I know. I'm fucking 80 years older than a guy.
There's something wrong with you for referring to someone 21, 22 years younger than you as a kid.
No,
how dare you?
So for hacking that old man, Blaze could not handle the pressure, and she dumped him.
Nice. I hope that the gimmick was worth it. Way to go there. I mean, I thought he was trying to, like, blade her down.
Yes, Maria, I'm serious. Blaze has dumped Hannibal.
Okay, good. Do
you think that?
I heard she might be.
See
interested.
you, Jeff.
I heard she might be interested in dating the referee.
Do you think?
Is that true?
Do you think? Wait a minute. I want to set the picture. Do you think the problem was probably Blaze was getting all sexy, taking her clothes off, oiling that hot body up?
And then he tried to gig her.
No, but then she's looking. Where's Hannibal? She gets out the door, and she looks in his room, and there's Hannibal rocking back and forth. Watch my podcast. Watch my podcast. And he's just repeating it to himself.
But next to him is there lotion and a basket.
Yes.
Perfect. That's perfect.
And then Blaze, hold on.
Okay. I'm with you.
In the small apartment Hannibal works out of, because that's all he could afford. We all know this.
The picture.
He lives in a 2-room apartment in Canada.
Yes, okay.
But in this apartment, there's this giant hole with a bucket. And there's bones of, like, dead people. And Blaze saw this, and Blaze ran out of town.
He's the blood hunter.
Blaze blows. Blaze blew and blazed.
Yeah, she blew out of there like shit through a goose. Yeah. He's a little bit off. What's he gonna do now? What's his next thing? He's got to do something to get some attention. So what's he gonna do? He's gonna rock back and forth.
Do you think he's crying at night? Blaze,
maybe they should show the deep hole in his room. People would be.
You think he has this, like,
get a lot of views?
Maria, he probably has that cup that you bought from him, of him and Blaze.
What?
Maria told me she bought a cup from Hannibal of Blaze and Hannibal. No, Blood Hunter. I'm sorry. Don't piss Hannibal off.
Yeah, it's Blood Hunter.
It's Blood Hunter.
Wait a minute, he's not the Blood Hunter. We don't know who the Blood Hunter is.
Well, whatever.
Don't kill the gimmick.
Do you think Hannibal sits there with his Blaze and a Blood Hunter cup just rocking back and forth?
How do we know he didn't have the mask on during intimate times? Maybe she was like, "Take the fucking mask off, weirdo." We don't know. It's very possible. And
Come here, Blaze. Have sex with Blood Hunter.
He throws the mask on. He goes, "I'm going to put the lotion in the basket." I'd be like, "Get me the fuck out of here." Oh, my God.
802 says he owes her for a dress he ruined with blood.
Probably. Are these your...
Chris Lee says Abdul is in the hole.
Yelling up to us. Where's my check? I just want my
Very
check.
funny. Very funny. Very funny.
That's unbelievable.
So Hannibal, listen, guys, please say prayers for Hannibal. We feel terrible that Blaze has dumped him and hurt him. And wait a minute, AAA says Hannibal is known as the Liberace of Canadian wrestling.
You know what I think we should pray for? Guys, I want you to put your hands together in a deep moment of prayer. Please pray for all these idiots who actually made it in this business and are the biggest jackasses on the planet. Let's.
Amen.
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 Yeah.
Amen.
Peace, pot, and microdot. Amen.
But Maria, we love you.
Oh, my God.
We love you, and thank you for that message today.
Maria's the best.
She is the best.
She is. By the way, her promo skills are way better than half the folks I see on television.
She's better than Hannibal.
She's way better talking than Hannibal.
And she's better looking than Blaze. How's that?
Oh, come on now. Come on. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. She should be doing her own promos. She's a better talker than Maria Davis is a better talker than half these people in the business.
You know what I was thinking about?
Period.
Hannibal put, like, you probably saw it. He put up, people see the video. He put up a video.
You think I watch other channels?
Probably not.
Go on.
But anyway, there's a quick clip of Hannibal, like, doing a shot on some girl's chest with lime, and he makes out with her. And I'm like, why is he posting that if he's with Blaze? And then I found out Blaze dumped him. So that's his way of getting back at Blaze.
Oh.
I will teach Blaze a lesson. Other women like me.
Yeah. He should have put the lime in the coconut. Why is he putting the
lime in a coconut?
I'm sorry.
Very good. Help. People are shitting a brick.
Sure.
Yeah. This is Dan Severn.
Sure.
On the other hand, for example, hate to call out another broadcaster, but, then you have to do jobs for, like, Hannibal, for example.
No.
How do you handle something like that? A true tough guy who has to sit there and do a job for Hannibal.
You must like him a lot or something.
Now,
what the? on earth?
Let me. I'll put it like this. When I was first working, working with the WWF,
Okay.
it was rather interesting because, like, the first few weeks, as again, you'll find it hard to believe after this is all done because I talk, and there's a lot of people that before they ever seen any of my interviews are like, dude, we didn't know you talked at all. You just stay back there and you scare us. Well,
right.
Typically, I'm a quiet person. I am normally a quiet person. You ask me a question, I will give you a very thorough answer. But because it's so thorough, you'll be like, going, you already have half a dozen other questions. I mean, literally, you can come in here with only asking me one question at the beginning of this interview. Oh, we're good for the next couple hours easily because I'll tell you, not only will I answer your question, I will usually throw on a story to reinforce it on top of that. Again, that's from the decades of being involved in athletics, but then also dealing with people in different sectors of amateur wrestling, freestyle wrestling, amateur wrestling, Greco-Roman wrestling, judo, sambo, tough man contests, no holds barred to mixed martial arts, but then throw in the wacky world of professional wrestling on there. That's why I always tell people that if variety is the spice of life, Dan Severn is the spiciest of person I know, because we're dealing with all those kinds of people.
I think he's trying to get you to forget your question. How did you put this guy over?
Well, okay. No,
thank you.
Well, again.
No, you don't, Dan. Come back.
But I'm glad you said it because I was going to simply say, now, where were we? I was going to say there. No, I mean, in the wacky...
Was it a roll-up? I didn't see this.
No,
Go on.
In the basic element of professional wrestling, there are times it's kind of going, this guy can't carry my jockstrap. and now you want me to put somebody over. Yeah. And it's, I always tell people that in the magical world of professional wrestling, anything is possible. You could have a midget out there with a feather. That's going to beat the giant because he runs up to the giant and he starts to tickle him. And the giant starts to and at the point that the giant falls on his back, grabs the tights, and grabs the leg. 1, 2, 3. Again,
fast count.
Anything can be done in the magical world of professional wrestling, and I leave it at that. And
Lesnar wins the belt. Everything that week was pretty damn good. Feeling pretty good.
Minute, hold on.
And then this.
We got a caller.
We have a caller?
Hey, you're on with Monte and the Pharaoh. Who's calling?
Caller.
Hey, this is Billy Jack Haynes.
Hey, Billy Jack! Oh, yeah, brother. How are you, my friend? Thanks for calling in. How are you, sir? It's been a while.
Well, it's been a while. I'm going to be coming down and seeing you guys November 22nd.
He is?
You're in New Jersey, right?
In New York, my friend. Long Island.
In New York.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. I went to go to so many... I'm going nuts.
Bro, you're a busy guy. Right next to me is the Pharaoh. You remember the Pharaoh, right?
Well, you guys are the best in radio. You know that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Listen, Billy, I want to tell you something. So last night I was doing some stuff for work, and I go on YouTube, and I see a video where you're calling into Hannibal. Real quick, I want to ask you a question. How long are you going to let this guy shit on you before you take care of this?
What? Well, here's the thing that the people don't understand me. My wrestling career has been over now since 1996. So everybody wants to call this thing a work, a shoot, or a shooter, a work. To me, there's no such thing as a work anymore. I retired from the ring. So this is 100% shoot to me. I'm not playing no games. And what people don't understand, all my career, I was master of the full Nelson. No one wants to bring that up anymore. And I got a challenge I'm going to bring up, and I'll keep that a secret, even though you may know what I'm talking about now.
Yep.
But let's see this 66-year-old can break somebody's neck.
Well, I got to tell you, Billy, we're big fans of you from Monte and the Pharaoh and Village Connection Radio. And I got to tell you, I'm just starting to take this stuff a little bit personal now. Because I've met you in person twice. You are nothing but a gentleman.
Yeah.
You've been as honest as you can with us. Yeah. And I'm honestly getting a little tired of people taking advantage of the situation. You are one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. You're a hero to many. And, when nobodies take shots at you, I'm just not digging it.
Nope.
Yeah, they take a lot of shots at me. Of course, I opened that up myself, being truthful about being a cocaine dealer. That's on me, but as far as Hannibal, where he wants to take this thing for views or whatever he wants to do, you guys to me are the greatest in podcast because what you just said, you let me tell the truth, and people can look it up for themselves. I'm telling the truth. It's on the internet, but they do what they want to do. I put my life on the line with the Boys on the Tracks murder back in 1987, and so everybody can read about that too. So I must be pretty ignorant, stupid, or just want to clear my heart before I die. I could be killed over that. So,
absolutely. Pharaoh, you got anything for Billy?
Yeah, Billy, how's your health right now? I wanted to know.
Well, buddy, like I know you had that aortic aneurysm yourself, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I'm so glad that the surgery went well for you.
Thank you.
You bet, your partner. And for me, I got lucky. They said I had to have open heart surgery, but they looked at it again and said, no, you're okay. It was a mistake. So I lucked out.
Well, that's great news. Now, did you get married? Last time you were in here, you said you were about to get married. Did you end up getting married?
No, I haven't got married yet. That was kind of a throwback. But the reason I said that I'll let you know when I get down there. We got more time.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is this: when Hannibal brought up the marriage part, my ex-wife Jeannie Clark is such a sweetheart. I'm not going to get on the air and call her a liar or anything. She was really good to me, and he has no business going deep into my life. He doesn't understand who he's messing with. I used to get paid to beat guys up, and even worse. So I'm a man of my word. I take Hannibal very seriously. Anybody who challenges me or gets in my space, I'm a pro wrestler, pro boxer, everything. He's in my space now. He's in my face making fun of me, and I will take him out, man. I'm not playing no games. I'm being very serious. I'll go down there and I'll take him right out.
Well,
I'll take his knees out. I'll break his neck. I don't like to be effed like that, man.
Well, I got to tell you, so he was on our show, and he seemed like a real gentleman, and he does well in what he does. Huh. But again, after meeting you, and again, we grew up fans of yours to begin with.
Yeah.
And watching him take, advantage of these situations or speaking you as disrespectfully as is, it's really bothering me. And last night when I watched it, or listened to it, I'm sorry, I felt the same way. I felt like, I understand he considers himself a reporter, but the way the questions, he kind of put Jeannie in a spot. I saw that interview, and I just really feel, Billy, that you really got to, you need to address this, brother. You really do.
Well, I'm going to address it. I have an interview with him. I don't want to, say what other podcast or whatever people will know, but I'm going to be with you guys at the 22nd.
Yep.
November 22nd. In New York. That's the greatest. Monte and the Pharaoh is #1 in the world.
Thank you, sir.
That's right. Thank you.
Very honored to be with you guys again. And
thank you.
And thanks for the Hannibal updates and all that. Thanks for listening to that, watching that, or listening to it last night. He tried to make up with me, and you can't make up with me like that. I'm a street person. I took care of my dad, who was blind and had diabetes, and he was an amputee from juvenile diabetes. So I'm not one guy to be effed with, and he continues to do it for his views. And what's going to end up happening is he's going to be out of pro wrestling forever. I'll probably end up going to jail forever if he keeps screwing with me. And I'm telling you guys that first. I'm not coming down there to play games at all the way from Portland to New York, New Jersey to Philly.
Billy, do you feel you're being kind of like manipulated because you're just basically a view magnet? Because you really are a view magnet. I mean, you feel like not only is he insulting you on a personal level, is he like insulting you on a business manipulating level too?
I think it's a business manipulating level. I was a multi-millionaire, and they say I'm worth about $300,000. It doesn't really matter what I'm worth. The point is, I just want to live the rest of my life out. I'm not trying to be a view and manipulator or whatever. He is trying to manipulate me, but I've still got a lot of. You never lose a fight in my heart. I never will, because I went to my dad's grave. I tried to commit suicide. I told you guys that. Yeah. And I failed. I found God in my heart, and now this guy's made me find the devil again, and he's made a big mistake by doing that. I want God over the devil, but Hannibal tries to play the devil with me, trying to say he's going to kill me. So I go on hepatitis C treatment. So now I'm cured with Hep C. He has no excuse not to fight me. Now he says that I'm too old. He's going to kill me. You've heard every bit of his tapes. And so I'm right here. And Larry Holmes, he interviewed Larry Holmes. The only guy that beat Larry Holmes when he was 48-0 was Michael Spinks, beat him twice. The guy who beat Michael Spinks was Tommy Sullivan in Portland, Oregon. Look it up. 1975 National Championship Golden Gloves was Tommy Sullivan knocking out Michael Spinks. Well, I was his number one sparring partner for 2 years. So I could handle myself with Larry Holmes. How would he end up with Larry Holmes? How would Hannibal end up with Larry Holmes in a fist fight right now today, even at 68, 9 years old? I'd kill this guy, man. He's playing with the wrong guy. They think I'm crazy. I'm not. You guys know that.
No, not at all. I don't think you're crazy, and I think there comes a point where, when you feel like you're being taken advantage of, it's number one. Again, you've done so much for the pro wrestling business. You're also 66 years old. There's so many things that are wrong about this. And again, I don't appreciate it. I thought Hannibal seemed like a very nice guy when he was on, but the thing I see him pulling off with you, I just think it totally unfair. And Billy, one quick thing. I know when you come in on November 22nd, you will be on television. We announced at the beginning of the show we signed a 1-year deal with cable. We're on every Tuesday from 8:30 to 9 o'clock. So Billy Jack Haynes will be on the forefront on cable. So thanks to you coming on our show and supporting our show, we're able to do this. But thank you so much.
Well, thank you guys. I am looking forward. See, it's Friday, November 22nd at 8:30, right?
That's right.
I've been looking forward to seeing you guys. I love you both very much, and I love all the fans out there in New York and the East Coast.
Well, we love you, Billy, and we'll see you. And get yourself ready. Get into training. So we want to see you hit a home run, my friend.
I'm 236 right now, down from 280.
Nice.
And by the way, I love the picture you posted on Twitter of you and your father. That's really was a great picture.
Yeah, thank you for that. But somebody else posted it. I couldn't believe it. I forgot about that picture. It broke me down pretty hard. The good man who did that.
Well, you mean a lot to us, Billy, and we'll see you on November 22nd, my friend. Thank you for calling in.
Thanks for checking in, Billy.
All right, my friend. Bye-bye.
Wow.
Billy Jack Haynes calling into Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast.
You had me guessing.
Did I have you guessing?
Yeah, you had me guessing.
Bro. And let me just point out one thing. We didn't call him.
No.
He called us.
That's right. That's right.
His quarter?
Speaking about that, Jim.
Thank you for that.
Steven was producing the show when we had Hannibal on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hannibal is a guy, right, that was training to become a wrestler.
Yeah.
Looking fresh. Training to become a wrestler. And he ended up getting hepatitis C, where he claims from Abdullah the Butcher. He was really forthcoming in our interview, which I thought was fantastic.
Right.
But what he's doing with Billy Jack Haynes, I just totally... But we're going to get to that, my friend, because we got to talk to you about that crazy dude from Canada.
Kiss my fucking ass.
I know.
Oh, there you go.
Well, there you go. Let's get to it. But first, we haven't seen you in a bit, man. I first want to say our condolences for the passing of your mother.
Dude, we just saw you guys with Dale and everything. It's just been a really crazy run at it, man. Let's be honest. I mean, my mom, and thank you very much. But then we also had a great time with the Patriot, and we just had a great time with you guys that night, and we just had so much fun. And then damn, a couple weeks later he passes. I mean, and then a couple weeks later my mom passed. So it was just a really weird deal, man. But I just want to thank you guys for saying, I appreciate you caring, and that means a lot to me. Death doesn't bother me a whole lot because I'm a true believer in the Bible, and the Bible, you're picked, bro. It's your time, and you're picked way before we think we're picked, and we think we're driving the car we're driving, but we're not driving it. You know what I'm saying, brother? Mm-hmm. I mean, there's just more to this than meets the eye. There's somebody I really don't want to go there. It's just been so, we beat that so to death. It's not funny. The problem with Hannibal that upsets me is he went on the internet trying to persuade all of my friends, what had happened with my car incidences, and little did he know even, they were 10 months old. I mean, when I called Dallas Page one day, I saw him on Hannibal, and it killed me. Because instead of saying what Dallas should have said, which was, hey, look, I don't know this story. So when I do know about it, I will be more than happy to get back with you, and I'll be more than happy to talk to you about it. When I called Dallas and I said, Dallas, do you realize you're talking about something today that was 10 months old? And he said, no, you just had this wreck. And I said, wait a minute. You're going to fucking tell me when I had my fucking wreck? Like, I don't know when it was? I said, I'm telling you, bro, I got the paperwork and I had it in front of me, and I go, here it is. I said, it's 10 months old, brother. I said, so he tricked you into talking about something that's 10 months old. Now, somebody I believe in more than anybody is Lex Luger. And when I called Lex for his advice, he said, Mark, yes, do I believe you got a right to be a little upset at Dallas over this? Yeah, maybe. He said, but I read the article. And the article read like you were the Tasmanian devil that ran through Atlanta, burning the whole fucking city down. He said, and he goes, and so that's the way they painted it. So Dallas, instead of Dallas doing what he should have done and saying, hey, I don't know, and let me find out and we'll talk, he acted like he did know. And, he maybe should not have done that. But still, I love Dallas Page so much that don't matter. I just want him to know that he shouldn't speak up so fast sometimes, because he was talking about something that was 10 months old, and all he did was look kind of stupid that day. And I didn't want him to look stupid. I don't ever want Dallas to look stupid.
Right.
Dallas is a very great guy. He's a super friend of mine. And I just didn't want him to think that just had happened. But the way it all came down, it looked like it all just happened.
Right.
But what had happened really was, since COVID happened, they had put off warrants and everything because they didn't know what to do, even in the jail system.
Right.
So when that car wreck happened and all that happened on when I did all that on Cumberland Avenue by Cumberland Mall and everything, and when that big wreck happened and I ran through the MARTA bus station, a guy ran me through a MARTA bus station, bathroom. Thank God nobody was in there, so nobody got hurt. But that literally was 10 months ahead of this video, this thing that he had with Hannibal. And Hannibal lied, and he knew the truth, but he still wanted everybody to bury me and just do, just get a rating out of it, of whatever he wanted to get out of it. And let's go this route. Bravo, bro, you did it. I mean, you got my friends to believe in your sorry fucking ass, to believe in you and not believe in me. So I can't even dog you out except go, congratulations. You convinced friends of mine that were friends of years of mine that ain't known you ever, probably never met you ever, that believes your story over mine. So, it just is what it is. And I told everybody, and that's where my podcast came out as Rebuilding Buff. And that's what I'm doing. I'm I'm coming out and telling everybody exactly what's going on, how, what happened. And, I'm just not going to be the buff that, that used to be, the coming in double fisted and having fun. And don't get me wrong, I was a lot of fun. I was a blast. But it also got me a lot of heat and, and all that. So it was just time for me to grow up, and that's what I've done. And Dallas has got a lot going on right now, and trying to get, trying to help some guys and stuff, and just, just talk to us and help us out as friends, and, and that's what we're doing. And so that's where we're at, and that's what we're going to do. And I just hope the fans stick with me. The fans have been great. They've stuck right by my side, and I've done nothing but just, flourish them with everything. But it's called rebuilding Bub, and that's what we're doing.
Anyway, with Phil Brooks,
His name is not Phil Brooks. It's CM Punk. How many times do I have to repeat this to you? I'm sick and tired. What the hell's that?
I don't know.
I think somebody's at the door. Hey.
You can't even film stuff without people knocking.
Well, that's the way of the world. Who is it?
But don't start personally insulting me.
Huh?
But don't start personally insulting me.
Hannibal! Oh, no! Not that way!
In Texas.
Well, it's starting to get to springtime now, and usually we go straight from winter to summer, and that's about it. We don't have too much of a fall, and don't have a whole lot of spring. It just gets hot and cold here, one or the other.
I'll tell you what, I've been, I was in the military, so I've been down to Texas. I'm a big fan of Texas. My partner here, the star of the show, Jimmy Pharaoh, he was in a band. He's been down in Texas. Not so sure if he's a big fan of it, but he'll have to fill you in on that.
How long is winter down there, James? Like 2 weeks?
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
That's what I figured. That's what I figured. Actually, no, James, I went to Texas once, and it was very strange. I got pulled over in the middle of the night, and I really wasn't speeding, but I think the New York license plates might have given me away. And the next thing I knew, I was out there for 3 hours. They were asking me if I missed my parents. So that's my Texas memories for you, sir.
There you go, brother.
Oy.
At least it's not Louisiana.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Wait a minute. I went through there, too. I guess I'm lucky.
Yeah, you are lucky, Louisiana.
Holy Tennessee Jet.
Louisiana, you might still be there.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Not be good.
Or you might be in the swamps being tied down and eaten by a gator or something like that. Right. I don't know.
Oy.
My first wife was from Louisiana.
Oh, wow.
That's two reasons for me to not go to Louisiana.
Prayers. You could go ahead and say, James, prayers to you, Mike. Prayers. I feel bad for you.
Oh, man.
All right, James, are you ready to go here?
Sure, yeah.
There we go.
All right, here we go, brother.
Batter up. We were just talking about the Macho Man documentary, James. Any thoughts on? Did you see the documentary? Right. Any thoughts on it?
Yeah. Well, of course, I wasn't around for every detail, but I knew Randy and worked with him. Worked with him in Japan, really, and from what I know, it seemed to be a fairly accurate documentary. I mean, I think. Yeah, I heard you guys talking about Elizabeth being a big part of it and Hogan being a big part of it. I think it'd be kind of ridiculous for them not to be honest with you. So,
sure.
I thought it was pretty well done.
Cool.
I will say the same thing, James. I thought they did a great job. In fact, all three of those documentaries are top notch for sure. So, James, setting up for you for a great interview today, and I get home from work last night, kind of getting the notes together and the script together, and bingo bango, we find out that Hannibal, who's one of your main guys, right? He's everybody knows what he's the top guy in this game where we're trying to catch up and take him over. But that being said,
YouTube broadcast,
he's a big part of your federation. And he went on to say that he is no longer going to be part of SWE Fury. And then basically he's been accused of trying to start a federation in Texas on his own. Can you weigh in on that?
I can tell you that from what I know, he was never accused by anybody in our office. I talked to Tom Lance today, and he assured me that wasn't the case. And in fact, he sent me the last correspondence they had with each other, text-wise, and it totally is counter to what people are saying right now. And I don't really understand where Hannibal was coming from with that. To be honest with you, a couple of things. Honestly, he was not fired. He was not suspended. It's kind of baffling, to be honest with you. I don't know where he's coming from.
Do you feel like he's doing damage control? Because why would he lie? I'm just curious as to what is his motivation.
Well, I don't know. I've had a good relationship with him, and we've been doing a podcast together.
Okay.
About inside WWE, and I consider him a friend, and it all came as a shock to me, to be honest with you. I didn't know it. I didn't know what was happening, and we had a little bit of an incident at a house show the other night where a kid that he was working with got hurt pretty bad and had to go to the hospital and have stitches and that kind of thing. And I know that Tom and Teddy Long and in fact I talked to him myself a little bit about it. It wasn't a big deal. I mean, it was a big deal to the kid that got hurt, but not something that we were going to make a big deal out of. And the next thing I know, the next day, I'm hearing all this stuff about he's leaving. And I hadn't talked to him. We usually do our podcast on Tuesday nights. I didn't hear from him until last night, and it was just a text. And he basically told me the same thing, that it was an office decision and the management decision, and being part of the management, that was news to me. But and also Tom sent me the correspondence they had with each other, and it was very friendly and back and forth, and it made no sense to me what's been said over the last day or so. I don't understand it, to be honest with you. I don't get it.
What is this going to mean to SWE?
But I can say this.
Good.
Well, I mean, he's a big help to us. There's no question about that. He gave us a lot of exposure, and he did have some money invested in Blood Hunter and Blood Hunter's opponents, and also with Selena, and I mean that's just a fact. We're not denying that at all.
Okay.
That was something he wanted to do. Something to help himself as well.
Okay.
So
understood.
Well, is there any way that you and Tom can negotiate with Blood Hunter and try to keep Blood Hunter around and let Hannibal go on his own way?
Oh, you mean like keep the gimmick? Wow, what do you think there, James? Any shot of that? Oh boy.
Well, it would be okay with me, and Tom made it very clear to him that he's welcome to come back.
There you go. Okay.
We thought maybe that he was just tired. He spent a lot of money being in Texas and not being able to go home to Canada, and we thought maybe he just needed a break. And I've got it text back and forth to he and Tom talking about that, and Tom offered, and he said, anytime you want to come back, you're welcome. So the whole thing is just kind of odd.
Was the physicality actually, did that have legs? Because I had heard something about Just Incredible months back had actually walked out on him during a match. Was there true concern about his phicality in the ring?
There was with some guys. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think some guys thought he was a little dangerous. He was very, very snug. I'll put it that way.
Snug.
And yeah. And,
gotcha.
And there were some guys that don't like that. They don't like working with that. And but it was one of the things that got him over. There's no question about that. And he was a big help to us in that way. But and we're really kind of presenting a different kind of style anyway. It's just a little more of a believability factor involved in it, and definitely a little tighter work. But and he took it a little bit beyond that sometimes. But everybody's different. Some guys. He had a match with Rodney Mack a couple of I guess about 3 weeks ago at a rodeo arena, and it was as brutal as any match I've ever been involved in. And I was refereeing it. We chased them all over the arena, and they were killing each other. And after it was over with, Rodney just smiled and went on. And then some other guys, they would get in a match like that, and they'd probably complain about it. But Just the way it is.
I got to ask you, with the timing of this news with Hannibal, and I'm saying this respectfully. Hopefully, you'll understand it when I say this, because I do like the product and I like the direction that it was heading in. But when this happens today, because of Hannibal's presence within the broadcast, YouTube world, I almost feel like whether it was intended or not on the company's part, I almost feel like you accidentally might have shot yourself in the foot. What does the company do now to get out there for the fans to help boost it? Because I do believe his presence was helping it on YouTube for sure.
Well, there's no question about that. We certainly understand that and appreciate that. Mm-hmm. He was told that. Mm-hmm. I don't know that the company shot ourselves in the foot, because we didn't do anything. Okay. There was absolutely nothing done by anybody in the company to force him out or try to get him to leave. In fact, just the opposite.
Okay.
And
fair enough.
Why he decided to take that approach, I guess I don't understand, because we had a good relationship. And as far he and I personally, we had a very good relationship, and I don't know. It's just really strange.
Have you guys had conversations amongst yourself, like with Teddy and of course the main brain trust of the company? Like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, and we're all a little I guess, puzzled by it.
Fair enough.
I don't know if it's I don't know if maybe he just he did say that he'd spent a lot of money, and that's true. And he's been down in Texas for a while, and he couldn't go back home or couldn't go back and forth. I think that's what the problem was. But I don't know. I don't know what the motivation is. All he had to do was just say, I need to take a break, and that would be okay. It wouldn't be a problem, and it still isn't. As far as we're concerned. Well, I don't know what else we could have done. We didn't do anything to force him out. I'll put it that way.
Understood.
Well, we're big fans of your federation, so we're hoping this doesn't really set you guys back. We've been rooting for you guys for a long time. So if I could just weigh in, I'd probably say you better start hanging your hat on Lacey Von Erich a little bit. That might be the answer.
Well, Lacey's a big help also. She's a presence, and not necessarily in the ring wise, but as far as getting some attention and doing some publicity type things for us, she's a big help with that.
Without a doubt. All right, so we're going to pull back a little bit. We're going to talk about some of your WCCW days. Were you around Steve Austin when he was down in that federation at all?
Oh yeah, I was there from the time, actually before he even started. He was in Chris Adams' school down there, and I worked some of his first matches. So we've known each other a long time. He would, we worked together. He'd come over to my house and watch the tape and all that stuff. I knew him very well.
So let me ask you this: when he was down there, so we were talking about the documentaries and maybe the light that Savage, which you clearly said Savage was portrayed properly there. Do you think they went light on Austin, considering the problems that he's had with some of his ex-wives and some of the rumors that have happened?
I honestly have not seen that documentary yet. I guess I need to watch it. I knew Steve well. I knew Jeannie. I know that they had some issues, and Tony had some issues. She and Tony had some issues. Chris Adams' wife, and it was just it was a kind of an odd situation down there for them. Really uncomfortable situation after Steve and Jeannie started seeing each other outside the wrestling business, and their relationship got kind of weird too after a while. And I know she wrote about that in her book. If you read that, she was pretty candid about all that. And Steve's other relationships, I really don't know that much about, because I wasn't around him that much after he left Dallas.
Knowing Austin from the very beginning, basically, did you foresee the magic of the career this guy wound up having? I mean, my Lord.
I knew he was going to be successful. You never know that a guy's going to be that over the top successful. He was determined. He was a guy that watched all the matches and paid attention. He asked questions. He's a very studious type guy in the background, and he was always willing to train and learn different things. So he just had all those aspects, all those traits that you knew we're going to lead him somewhere successful, and he was determined. You know, and when he got to WCW, he was very. He got to a point where he was very, very, I guess, disillusioned with how they were using him, and I talked to him a little bit back in those days. In fact, I was with him at one point, and went up and spent some days with him at his house, and went on tour with him, yeah, I could tell at that point he was getting a little frustrated, and you know, he was just one of those guys that was determined, and I knew that when he got that opportunity, it was going to happen for him.
How did you feel about the Hollywood Blondes? Because my partner and I were talking about that earlier this week. Do you feel at that time that Austin was frustrated with that gimmick? Do you think that team got enough love at the time? Because they certainly didn't attain Road Warrior status.
Well, let me tell you a story. I told you I went up there and stayed with him a little bit. And in fact, I went on the road. That was when Bill Watts was booking WCW. Mm-hmm. And I was actually going up there to talk to Bill, maybe about going to work for him. I didn't know whether I wanted to even do that or not. But I went up there and spent about a week with Steve, and went on the run with him and Scott Anthony, actually, Raven. That's who he became. But anyway, we were at one of the shows, and we were sitting in the dressing room, and Bill came down and called Steve over to the side. I mean, he was right there in the dressing room, but in front of everybody. And I could tell Steve wasn't happy about something. I didn't know what it was at the time. But that was the night Bill told him that they were going to put him with Pillman and make the tag team.
And Steve was mad.
And well, yeah, very. Because he had been told that he was going to be pushed kind of as the guy that comes up after Flair, you know, the guy that takes that spot, you know, and
right.
And he was aiming for that, and man, let me tell you, after that show, we drove home. He didn't say a word. He was really hot. We got home, got to his house in Atlanta, and he had to get out, and he got on this motorcycle and rode up around. He had about a 10-acre property there, and you know, Jeannie said he's mad about something. I said, yeah, he sure is, and he was just steaming over that. And I think eventually he came to appreciate the tag team, and it worked out well for him. But
right.
Man, he was not a happy camper.
Right. Well, you've given us a glimpse into Austin's beginnings. How about a glimpse into your beginning? How do you get started in pro wrestling?
I was playing music in the Dallas area, and got to know some of the guys. They'd come into different places where I'd be, and I've been a wrestling fan all my life, really, and kind of had a clue, I guess. And you know, when they'd get to talking to you, and they'd find out that, and they'd just kind of like talking to the boys, you know, and eventually they kind of goaded me into, actually Bruiser Brody was one of the main guys, and kind of goaded me into trying it, you know, and I thought, well, you know, I'll do it just for fun, see how I like it. And next thing I know, I'm working some shows around Dallas, and the next thing I know, I'm working at the Sportatorium, and then I got a gig in Japan, and you know, music had to take a back seat after that.
What instrument were you playing? I always ask these things to Pharaoh's a musician, so.
yeah. I played some keyboards, and I was mainly the lead singer on all the nice. Those bands I was in over the years.
Very nice, very nice. So you took the Hulk Hogan highway. He started as a bass player. The next thing you know, he's main eventing WrestleMania.
Out there, I want to thank you, Mrs. Sullivan. I grew up watching you in Florida. Your battles with Dusty and the family are legendary.
Nice,
great memories. Thank you, Mr. Sullivan.
That was nice of him.
I got to tell you, in a way, I'm envious of gentlemen like yourself, because you know what? I think when you have a life and you try to build your life, you want to make a difference. And it's, you know, for a working schlub like myself, I can only make difference at a very small amount. But when guys like you make differences, like people like this all over the world that say thank you, you change their lives.
Yep.
Dude, that's got to feel great.
Well, you got to realize, I was in the ring with three of the greatest baby faces of all times. Barry Windham is so underrated. It's pathetic.
By the way, one of my top 10 favorites of all time.
We love Barry.
Blackjack Mulligan.
There's two.
He talked him into the building. And the great Dusty Rhodes, all I had to do was hit him one time, and the building was ready to kill me.
But you were the great foil for those three gentlemen you spoke about.
I was their joker. to Superman, Batman, and the Flash.
There you go.
So,
there you go.
Let's get back to what the fans want to know.
Yep.
Okay. Tough question, and I understand it. Hannibal.
Yes.
Very well-known podcaster who built his.
I'm sorry.
He built his reputation on podcasting.
Yeah.
Fans want to know, what is your relationship with Hannibal?
I had a good relationship with Hannibal. I don't like to throw people under the bus.
Under the bus.
He was always gracious to me.
Okay.
He made a horrible, horrible mistake.
What was that?
The Spike incident. I mean,
okay. Okay. That's pretty recent. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, it was one of those things that you can never take back. So, do I give him a pass? Because he was always good to me. I try in this stage of life to say it's too late in the game to carry anger. It's too late in the game to be pissed off at people. I like to give them the benefit of the doubt, but you can't on that one. There's no giving it a benefit of the doubt. He ruined what he had going for him. I'm sure he would like to take it back, but we all have to think before we do an action.
Why do you think he did that to that guy? Like, what do you think was going through his head?
I mean, I can't tell you what's going through his head because I don't know. But there's only two things you can think. Maybe he was impaired. And, you know, that cost him his girlfriend, too. You know?
What do you mean, the Blaze thing?
Yeah, the Blaze. She left him right afterwards. He was going through a divorce.
Wait a minute, Blaze dumped him like right after that.
Yeah.
She was like, because she was getting harassed, I heard, over that whole
I don't know if it was just that, but she was very upset that night.
Was that a work or a shoot? What was Hannibal's intentions during all of that?
See, there's the other thing. I think it was a shoot.
Okay.
But that referee kept on sending him things. I bleed. I'm a bleeder. I can do the hard way. Well, that would be like telling me to send that to Ming. Hey, brother, hit me the hard way.
Right.
What are you, crazy? I think one of the things that he did right, and he rightfully should have, he paid the guys doctor bills and he sent them money.
Okay.
I hate to say we're all without sin, pick up the first rock.
Right.
I think he's paying for it dearly. I think it must haunt him. I'm sure we've all been through something in our life that we said, gee, I should have done this differently. But am I going to throw him on the bus and say, this and that about him? He was good to me. He was good to Andrew.
Well, I've heard him say that he considers you a very close friend. And I think that's why the fans are asking, like, what are your thoughts?
And he doesn't have many friends. And I think...
Is that by his own design?
No, I think...
Is it because he's really boring?
I mean, Kevin, you know what? Let's get to the bottom of this. Kevin, I respect you irreversibly. What is it about him that makes people tune into him? He is boring as fuck. He doesn't do anything to, we're old school. We do old school approach.
Right.
What is it about Hannibal? Explain it. Because as coming from our end, I don't get it.
Okay.
He's not funny. He's not original. He's not creative. He's a fucking snooze fest. Now that I'm done,
okay.
I think I'm okay. But explain to me, what is it? I had to, you prick. What are you laughing about? I had to.
When you see his matches.
Yeah, he sucks. What about him? He sucks.
He beats people up.
Okay, so did plenty of other true greats.
No. Here's where I'm going.
True greats used to beat people up. He's not truly great. Go ahead.
No, but here's where I'm going.
Fuck you, Hannibal. Next.
In this day and age,
not bad.
When everything is so choreographed.
Okay.
He did it with Terry Funk.
Yeah.
He did it with Lanny Poffo.
Ah, that was lame. Next.
He did it with
that was lame. Say it.
He did it with a bunch of people.
Right.
Where he kind of beat them up.
Okay.
So you're sitting there and watching wrestling.
Right.
And you guys know the inside. They only see what's presented to them.
Okay.
Usually probably edited very well.
I'm not denying his professionalism.
Okay.
I mean,
but
he's
what I'm
obviously working. It's working for him. I get it.
And it's not now because of that mistake.
That one referee thing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's not working. He used to go, PCW Ultra.
Okay.
He was going to Texas.
All right.
Well,
do you think, Kevin, be honest?
Yeah.
You were great in Texas.
Do you think the problem is that he wanted to be a pro wrestling star so bad, like a Kevin Sullivan, that obviously he went to these interviews because that wasn't happening, but do you think it haunts him that it's like, look, the dude's definitely a huge guy.
Right. He's done great
definitely
on YouTube.
Dangerous.
I'm not going to deny that.
I wouldn't take him on.
Great.
He'd rip my head off and shit down my neck.
I'm not fucking
I get
with
it.
him. I agree.
But do you think that's what drives this dude nuts?
I think the other thing that drives him nuts is, and I don't know, I'm just taking his word, that he had a WWE contract.
Right.
And then when it came up, the hepatitis, and he got it from Abdullah.
Right.
I think that really sent him into depression.
Okay.
I think Hannibal has in his life, he's adopted.
So am I.
Yeah,
Fuck
but his parents, his grandmother, who he's close to, died very young.
Okay.
He's had a lot of shit, but the thing is, Mike, you've come closest. He wanted to be a wrestler in the 70s and 80s,
right?
When people thought it might be real.
Right.
He was trying in his head,
okay,
to somehow stand out to get a redo from WWE.
So basically, what you're thinking is that he sees. Look, obviously, people know who the guy is.
Right.
For sure.
He's done well.
He was taking that opportunity. He's like, you know what? Because he got a lot of heat. Like at TMZ, if TMZ's right. So he's like, let me bring attention to myself. Let me, blade this kid, or not kid. I keep getting in trouble for saying kid.
Yeah, well,
but blading this referee or whatever he did to him, and let me go overboard and let me see what kind of attention it garners.
Right.
And
did SWE Fury sink because he left?
No, they were gone. He was working for World Class.
So SWE Fury was already sinking themselves.
SWE, Tom went on. He's got a show, I believe.
Bill, that was a terrible question that he asked you, so I certainly understand why you got upset. But if you can share what you were thinking at that point of that interview.
Well, I think what I was thinking was that we hadn't been getting along on the interview anyway. He was telling me some stuff about Steve Kern when I was the Black Scorpion, and Steve Kern, he was saying that Steve Kern was the Black Scorpion, and I was trying to tell him that something that I don't know if he didn't want to believe, maybe he just wanted to argue about it. I don't know. Steve Kern, he said that Steve Kern said that he was one of the Black Scorpions. If Steve Kern said he was a Black Scorpion back on the WCCW days, he was. I'm not going to argue that point at all. I was one of them, and we all traveled around filling Ric Flair's shoes, working with people when Ric Flair was off in Japan. So I don't know. He got all upset. But, I really didn't care because I guess, he was kind of pissing me off a little bit with, telling me that he knows. Anyway, we didn't get along. So there it is. I personally, I don't care.
Well, I got to tell you.
I don't know what to say about it. I've heard some other things now about him that, and I don't even know if was he in some match where he gigged himself all up with razor blades and gigged the referee too? And is that him?
Yes, that is him. He took a golden spike and kept jabbing into the referee's head, who he claims said it was allowed it to happen, but later on you find out it's not the case. And anyway, I think he's also on house arrest. Also, I think don't hold me to it, but
I don't. That's one of those things. I might not have been. That's not probably my finest day either. But
Well, Bill, I'm going to tell you personally, I loved it, and I think a lot of other people loved it. It was good television.
Well, I'll tell you, the other side of the coin is was it kind of always has, not that it's irked me like I really needed it or anything like that, but I was supposed to be paid for that. And, he got all upset and cut it off, but he ran it. I never got paid.
And there you go. Just another one. Bill, I really want to thank you for taking the time out. It's truly an honor. I want to thank you as a wrestling fan first for what you've given to the industry and to us fans. And I just want to thank you in general. So thank you, Bill, for taking the time on Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast.
Welcome. It was fun. We had a good time.
Good. We'll talk soon, Bill. Thank you again.
Unbelievable. I love you guys. Unbelievable.
Ditto, my friend. Hey, so I want you and the Pharaoh to chime in. We had Vampiro on last week, and we started discussing the whole situation with Hannibal. Hannibal, he has his own show on YouTube, and he's a part-time wrestler, and he took advantage, I guess, of some kid that gigs himself as a referee.
He's not a kid at this point. He's
whatever.
He's a kid, though. People forget that. A lot of people are kids to us at this point.
What are your thoughts about taking advantage of someone like that?
Okay, so what I've seen on that is that, did he pay this dude to come do this with him? Is that the deal?
There must have been something going on.
Yeah, there was some sort of payment.
That's what I would, because honestly, I read up on this, and I don't know this guy. The only thing I knew, I thought he was just some Mark interviewer guy that interviewed people. I had no idea that he was actually a wrestler, because I'll click on stuff and listen to somebody's interview or something with Hannibal or whoever he is. I don't know the guy. I've never met the guy that I'm aware of, but man, I think, and it's just like the New Jack thing, man. I loved New Jack to death. I loved him to death, but man, he fucking stabbed somebody in the ring. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what this guy did was like, fuck, man, way out of line, man. I mean, I've done crazy stuff. I mean, on the last episode, I talked about the Puerto Rico thing, but it was because I was scared. It wasn't because I wanted to get over and put icy hot in the guy's eyes or whatever. I was a kid, and it was Puerto Rico, and I was kind of scared, honestly. And if the people watch the last episode, I explain everything. But what this dude did, man, I mean, you're jabbing somebody. What was the object? That's what I'm confused of. They said it was was it a knife or what was it?
It was a golden spike.
A golden spike.
Yeah, golden spike.
It might have been our boy Andrew Anderson's spike, I think. Or Kevin Sullivan's spike, who knows?
But yeah, that shit, I mean, you send somebody to the hospital like that intentionally, and I did see something where he said it was because of his mask. That's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit. If you've got a mask you can't see out of, how you gonna wrestle? You know what I mean? That's bullshit, man. I think this dude, I don't know if is he trying to just get publicity, or has he got some sadistic fucking shit in his head, or, I mean, because you got to think about that, man. You really do, man. In the wrestling business, I've met a lot of weird people. I've met people that have robbed banks. I've met people that are pedophiles. I've met a lot of weird people in this business. So does he have some kind of kink, or you know what I mean, something like that? I don't know.
You know, being in the business, when you see, shit like this, and you don't know the wrestler, do you immediately think to yourself, am I being worked? Because I do wonder if this whole thing is a work. I mean, what is the wrestler himself who's had the experience?
The only way it's a work is if that dude that let him stab his head
right
and cut his arteries and take him to the hospital is that big of a mark.
Right.
I mean, that's the only way it's a work.
Right.
That's it.
Have you seen that level of desperation from some people in the that want to get into the business? Would you be surprised if this turned out to be something like, okay, fuck me up, I don't care, I want to get in further?
Absolutely would not be surprised at all.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Fair enough.
Absolutely not. But I just think, I don't know, and I haven't seen the footage even. I haven't even seen the footage. I've seen a couple stills, and then I've seen the after stuff. But man, that's just dumb, man. That's just dumb. I mean, it really is. And half the shit that a lot of these guys do with this extreme shit is fucking dumb. It's just fucking dumb. I mean, we see all these things where motherfuckers try to do triple flips and they land on their head and damn near break their neck, and jumping off a fucking building through a burning table in the bed of a truck. And I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen all this. I mean, it's just stupid. It's not making any money. You know what I mean?
So, what was your thought when PG-13 went through the ECW back in the day? Did you think about some of that? Not all of it, obviously, but did you think some of that stuff was stupid, or did you think at the time, right place, right time for extreme wrestling, or?
ECW was it was right place at right time. And when I was there, I didn't even take as much as a chair shot in ECW. Me and Jamie worked with Mikey Whipwreck and Spike Dudley most of the time. We also worked the Eliminators. I worked Taz in a single. We worked the Pitbulls. I mean, we pretty much worked everybody, but it was never those crazy fucking matches. We had crazier matches than Memphis.
Right.
But everything meant something. We didn't do anything just to fucking do it. We did shit to line up for next week or down the road or whatever. And, it might be just one big bump, one crazy fucking bump to make sense later. Not just all this dumb shit that they do now. Too many crazy bumps in one match. None of it means anything.
I'm going to ask you and Pharaoh. First, I'm going to ask you, Wolfie, then I'm going to ask Pharaoh. So now Hannibal is going after The Miz from the WWE because TMZ questioned The Miz, showed him the video, and The Miz said something like, this guy shouldn't be in wrestling. So Hannibal went on his YouTube channel to say that his wife Maurice is a whore, and she used to have sex with Rene Dupree. Do you think it's right to be dragging people's real life spouses into things like this?
Fuck no, man. No, you don't do that, man, and that's super unprofessional and not cool. And I kind of feel like this is a lead into the me and Jamie thing, where I think he said some shit about my girl that is not true, and that crosses a line right there. There's wrestler code, man. There really is. Unless you're okay with it beforehand, if it's an angle, if it's whatever, you don't drag in personal bullshit unless it's okay with the person that you're doing it with, man. Then you're a fucking dick after that.
What do you think, Jimmy?
I think I want Jamie and Wolfie to have at it on the show. That's what I think. But that's how I feel about it. It's
hey,
like
you know why he does not want any part of that?
Please.
Is because like when he was on there with you guys, y'all were not gonna rebut him. He knows that if he comes on there with me, I'm going to rebut him, and I'm going to have every answer that he bullshitted his way through that interview with y'all. And a lot of it was lies, but a lot of it was just bullshit. And you know, if the people watch my show, episode 3, I talk about all that. But it's just like whatever. But I think he took it. I was having fun with it, honestly. Which I can't believe Jamie, you know, having been brought up in the business and all that bullshit, can't understand that I was pissed off when I went on your show. I was pissed off, and I had every right to be because he lied to me. He lied to me. That was the main thing. If you don't want to show up, whatever, but don't lie to me. Don't fucking lie to me, and don't not return my calls and stuff like that. That was the major heat with me right then.
Sure.
But, you know, and then his wife has gone on social media and said some things, and then he said what he said with the cheap shots and all that, and I was having fun with it. That's why, you know, this guy.
I was going to say.
It's right here.
You don't care? What are you telling them? They didn't see that when we defended the belts.
Well, it's wrestling. You know how it is.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the meat and bones of it. So this week, Hannibal, who has Hannibal TV, probably the OG of the shoot interview when YouTube first came out. I'm personally not a big fan of the man or the character.
And kind of nobody is. When I like him, I still do, even though he just fucked me over. I liked him, man. You know, he's an alcoholic. He's trying to beat that. You know, and I have my battles with that, of course. You know, so I see common grounds there. But I just liked him, man. I liked him. I thought he put on a class act with his show. When he would do podcasts, he's got 3 cameras. Nobody else did that. 3 cameras.
Wait a minute. Me and Jimmy did. Me and Jimmy had 3 cameras.
Well, y'all had a studio, though.
Yeah,
y'all had an actual TV place.
Right.
Yeah. But he didn't. He had the hotel rooms. And nobody else had done that. And I was like, wow, this guy. Okay. Mm-hmm. And there was a thing, too. It was supposed to be like an hour and a half. And we went way over it. And he gave an extra $150, $200, whatever it was. You know, I said, here, man, for going over. Nobody does that.
No. So, you know, so you're giving him his props.
You don't do it.
But listen, we don't go over either. So
yeah, we do. We have.
You go over. I don't. I try to get off. But listen, so that's a great prop for Hannibal, right? So again, you guys, you've been on his show numerous times.
Yeah.
So I was surprised to see that a video came out where he just started trashing you. And again, Marty, you know, you do have a temper. Everybody knows that. You get a little pissed off sometimes, and it happens.
You know it better than anybody.
Absolutely. And I was shocked that if he was having a disagreement with you, he felt it necessary to go on his program and trash you. Yeah. I thought that should have handled personally, so I wrote you. So what were you thinking at that moment? Were you surprised he was doing this?
I didn't want to have to hurt him. I know he's supposed to be a badass martial art guy, but I was too. And I know what I can do. And that was the first thing I started thinking. Even with my bat, I don't need my ankles. I know what to do with my hands. But I didn't want to go there with it. I was just like, it actually hurt me. It hurt me. It's like, because I looked at him as a friend. And when you see a friend trash you like that, it's like, you know, like, what the fuck, man? And what it was, I shouldn't be talking money and shit out here, but I told him, I don't know. But I told him, give me 10 grand. I'll give you the best interview you've ever had. And because you know where shorts are where it's at. He's going to tear a 2-hour interview into like 100 shorts.
Sure.
And that's where.
And when you mean shorts, like 5-6 minute videos, 10-minute videos. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. You're the one that taught me that. You're the one that said that's where the money's at.
Well, again, because some people don't have the time to watch an hour interview. Sometimes, whatever, and you give them all different flavors, right? Of the interview.
and I think it was you that told me, the studies like 10 minutes is the attention span. So yeah, man, who wants to watch an hour and a half? You know, somebody talking for an hour and a half. Fuck. But no, I said, give me 10,000. I'll give you the best interview you ever got, because we'll go right down the line. Because Brett just came out with that shit about Sean, I'll go right down the line and talk about every star that I know. I mean, I can't talk about the ones I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'll tell stories that people will like. I mean, I'm not going to trash none of my boys ever. But, I tell things that people don't know. But, and that's what I offer to them. Give me 10,000.
So just to make it clear, he's like, hey, man, give me 10,000. I will give you every story, come clean, whatever. And
he was offended by it, evidently.
Why? Why do you think he was offended by you? Look, all he could say is no, right? No, Marty, no, thank you.
No, and he didn't tell me shit. He didn't say nothing to me. He went on the internet. But that's why I was, it shocked me. It did hurt me because I like him. I did. And I probably still do. But, yeah, I couldn't believe it. When I saw it, I'm like, I was just, no way. He's not doing this to me. He's not doing this to me. Man, should I go tell? Everybody knows about the Abdullah thing, Abdullah's butcher. So it's not for me to go tell that story. But
well, wait, just let's stop there for a second. So anybody that knows, right? Abdullah the butcher.
That's where he got hit.
Well, this is his claim. Okay, that he won and he won in court. Okay, he didn't get any money, but again, as a wrestling fan that knows very little about Hannibal, nor do I give a shit. He bled all the time, and when you start playing with blood, bled, and they were bleeding. Both of them were bleeding. So
the story was he used the blade that Abdullah had used. That's the story, and I believe it. I mean, that's possible.
Well, listen, I'm close with Tony Atlas. He's used that blade on Tony Atlas, right? Let me put it this way: I'm sure anybody that he's cut open has the same, like he's using the same, not the same exact blade, but he's bled on that blade. So why wouldn't everybody have hepatitis C?
I don't know. I can't answer that. I know what I wouldn't do, and I've bled a lot. I wouldn't use somebody else's blade now, brother.
I agree, but then again, do you believe Hannibal's story that he didn't know that Abdullah was using the blade that he used? Like do you believe that, or do you think that's his excuse for being a stupid ass?
I believe you're stupid ass if you used it. Why would you use somebody else's blade that they cut themselves open with 2 days ago, and you're going to use it? No, man, what the fuck? What is wrong with you? I mean, and if you did,
so
you're supposed to be a badass martial artist. God bless him for that, because it's stupid in the head if you did that.
So,
but he got paid though, from what I heard.
From who? Abdullah?
Yeah, I guess.
I heard he didn't get paid. Honestly, I heard there was no money to get paid.
You know why? Because Abdullah says he can't read.
I know. Abdullah's a pretty smart guy. You got to give him a little bit of credit, right?
Yeah.
So let me ask you this.
You know who couldn't read?
Who?
Jimmy Snuka.
This I know. I know.
You did know? Okay.
Yeah, we went
to me in the airports because we were real close. He'd come to me at the airport. Why? Where's our bags? Because he couldn't read nothing.
Yeah.
Where's our bags? Like, okay, come over this way.
Well, I remember he was signing an autograph for Jimmy, and he goes, "Oh, we have the same name," and then he spelled Jimmy wrong, and we're like, "Whoa."
That's funny. And his real name is James, and
James Snuka.
Yeah, James. Fuck, I can't even think of his last name now. But it was James, his first name. We was in a club one time. It got drug sale. We all were, and for whatever reason, he got upset with this dude. And he went up to him and he grabbed him. He's a nasty boy, so like a Vulcan mind transplant. He had his fingers in his eye socket and thumb underneath him. Had him like that. What is the name they call you, brother? And he said, James, I don't like that name. That's his own goddamn name.
Well,
He said, what is the true meaning of love? Oh, and the guy was scared to death, right? He can't hardly talk. He's got fucking choked up. When two people love it. No, that's not the true meaning of love. We're like, God damn, Jimbo, come on, man. Let the man go.
Well, I got to ask you this, since you knew Jimmy, did he ever tell you about the whole Nancy Argentino thing? Did that ever come across? You guys never discussed that at all?
No. And we got, me and him got very close. We were very close.
And it never came up in conversation, huh?
I knew about it. I heard, let me put it that way. I heard about it, but I wouldn't go ask him, hey, Jimmy, you killed that girl.
You killed that girl. What did you say, Monte? Let's go back to Hannibal. So Hannibal goes on a second interview, not interview, but a second program.
Yeah, I ain't seen that one. I heard.
Yeah, well, so I'm going to say some things that he said, and I want you to, return serve. So he basically, I guess you went on your Facebook page and you wrote a couple of things about him beating up a girlfriend, which, by the way, I will say clearly, I don't know if you know Andrew Anderson, but you definitely knew Kevin Sullivan. And both of them would constantly talk to me about Hannibal, that they felt Hannibal was on the spectrum. What do you think of those comments?
What does that mean?
Like you got the level of like normal brain function, and then you've got people that are less than mental, right? So mentally retarded. How's that? He's the cusp of being mentally retarded. This is what Kevin Sullivan used to say.
He comes off as that in interviews, don't he? It's like, oh, but what happened with? It's like, goddamn, man, this guy's fucking slow. But like I said, man, I liked him, so I shouldn't be. I'm not gonna dog him now. I was shocked that happened.
He started pointing out, I guess he looked at some history, and I guess at some point you were arrested for domestic assault that he found, and he was talking about how you assaulted women.
I've never assaulted. There was a domestic, what was called?
Domestic dispute, right? It happens all the time.
That. Yeah. It was argument me and my girl had like at 2 a.m. That was right after I got my contract. I just, from the Rock reunion, and then the next day I had a match with Kurt Angle, and everything was so good. They were like, "We're gonna make you the top heel," because the plan was for me to turn on Sean, for us to get back together and go through. They had it planned for WrestleMania that year. It was supposed to be me and Sean versus the McMahons, and at the end I turned and super kicked Sean, and top heel.
Yeah.
And $1 million contract, man. I never got paid that much in the business. $1 million. It was actually a flat rate. What do they call it? Lower end. When Johnny Laurinaitis gave me the contract, he said, "You get 400,000 lower end." What's lower end mean? He goes, "If you don't work but one day this year, you're getting 400,000." That's like the guarantee. But he said, "The way we're going to use you, you're going to make $1 million." God damn it, I didn't get to, man, because that argument that night, we were screaming. It was mostly her, but the neighbors heard the screaming at like at 1:32. If it wouldn't have been like 2 a.m, it wouldn't have been a big deal. But it was 2 a.m, so that's loud as shit. And he called the police. They came, they checked it out, and they left. But I was on probation for DUI, and in the state of Florida, if the police are called to where you live, it's a violation. VOP, violation of probation. And I had to go to jail for a while and lost that contract, man.
Damn, dude. Then he said that he's always been, you established that he actually, you went it over. He paid you for it. I mean, you're giving the guy his props. He did say that, you're not worth it anymore, right? He doesn't make any money.
Who said that?
That's what Hannibal said a second time. He showed that how much he's made on your last video, and you're not worth it. And
if that's true, it's true. But why you gotta go say that shit?
Well, Well, that's my point. Is like why again, Marty. I've known you for a long time, and really, in your heart, you're a really nice guy, right? Again, everybody's had in moments, but you're a nice dude. But it's like, I feel like you need to say something about this dude, right? No, I think you need to say something about the dude because, and I mean, just honestly from your heart.
What would you say?
I would say there was no reason to go on air because I asked you for $10,000 for a super shoot interview. All you had to say was no. We had built a relationship together where I was trying to build my podcast. You were helping me. We were working together.
Yeah,
right?
And he made it sound like that I was telling him, if you do this or else. Wasn't like that at all, bro. Wasn't like that at all. I left the voicemail. I got his answer machine. And I said, hey, brother, give me 10,000 and you'll get the best interview. You make all them shorts you want.
For some reason, he claims it's 1,000. So I don't know where that confusion comes, right?
I do. There was somebody who's going to pay me 1,000 a month to do a podcast.
Okay.
And I may have even talked to you about it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you might have.
Is that good? Because it's once a week. So 4 times a month, $1,000. I can use that. That's pay my bar tab. And with him, he always gave me 500 to 1,000 individual, like each time I would do a show. So that's why I was saying 10,000. All because I started learning about the shorts was where the money's at. That's what I was really trying to tell him, to make all the fucking shorts you want. I'll talk about all the guys in my era.
By the way, Marty, I want to say that he showed your live video money. He did not show your short video money. I did catch that too. So I was like, if you're going to tell a story on air, tell the entire story. You should have showed all the clips that you made from your interviews and showed everybody how much you make.
Yeah. But he did what he did. It surprised me, man. It really surprised me because I thought me and him had a friendship, like me and you. I mean, we'd call and talk on the phone.
Right. So why didn't you reach out and say, why are you doing this?
Because it hurt me so bad at first. I think the first thing I called and told him that he better never get to see me in person, which is kind of a threat. And on Facebook, I said, tell all your friends goodbye, which a lot of people told me, Marty, get that shit off. It's like, it's a threat.
Yeah.
And my brother got really pissed off. He was, Marty, if somebody else does something to him now, you're going to jail. Because you said that. Yeah. But I mean, I was hurt that bad. That at first it was going to hurt him. But then it was just like, you can't trust nobody. I can't trust you.
No, you can trust me. What am I going to say? Well, maybe you can. Who knows? I don't know. You know me. I'm going to go through some things he's done, right?
Jimmy. I trust Jimmy.
I know you trust Jimmy. You like Jimmy better than me. You always have.
No.
What are you going to do? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You always where's Jimmy? Where's Jimmy? Where's Jimmy?
He never got ugly to me. You did once.
Listen, dude, arguments are arguments. That's what men have. Men argue, and then you get over it, right? It's like, get over it. End of story. Okay, let's talk.
You tried to go to the studio.
Just shut up. You just stop it. By the way, those videos,
still out there.
There's I think one of the TikTok videos of that's got like 500,000 views or something like ridiculous.
Really?
Like, oh yeah. Best working punch you got in the world.
We didn't get paid for that.
No, we didn't. Let's talk about some of the things Hannibal's done. I want you to, because we're running out of time. I do not want to go over.
What do you got, an hour?
Yeah. And your time is valuable, and I'm not going to take advantage of it. Goes to Las Vegas.
Me, brother. Don't worry about it.
Goes to Las Vegas. Claims to be run over by a car, but the story's being told is that he's such a fucking wacko. He jumped out of the car. Thoughts about that? Do you think that's true? And I want you to weigh in on it.
I've heard he's a whack job, and with what I just recent. There was no reason for him to react like that. So maybe it is a whack job. I should have recognized that before I befriended him. but I didn't. I just thought we got a lot in common, me and this guy, and I liked him, man. We talked money a lot. We talked business a lot. We was going to work together. He was going to give me, I think it was 500 per podcast once a week. And then he said, well, I just had to spend a bunch of money on some movie or some shit he did. And he goes, I don't have the money
this dude's always doing something stupid. All right, hold on. So then he's involved in some Texas organization that James Beard is running along with Sullivan and Anderson. And he decides he's going to get drunk one night and runs a spike through some dude's head that gets picked up from TMZ. Thoughts about that? Him taking advantage of some possible old referee jamming a gold spike into his head until the guy's bloody mess.
Who said that though?
It's true. That's what he did. He did that. That is a factual thing. That is legitimately factual. Now, again, Hannibal's a big dude, right?
Yeah, and he's a martial art guy.
Well, steroid man, big dude, whatever. And he decides, and again, Sullivan and Anderson confirmed this because they were all involved with James Beard. James Beard confirmed this. He got drunk off his ass and took the spike and jammed it into that dude's head.
Yeah, he was off then. I mean, I couldn't do that. I mean, as mad as I get, like I was real mad at you one time, you know that. Yeah. But I could never do that. I couldn't. I mean, you got to be a little wacko to do something like that. Take something and put it through a person's, into their body. That's something I couldn't. And I've had some incidents over my life, but that's something I never stabbed nobody. I never even shoot nobody. So I don't understand.
Well, that's what he brought up on his last video too. That your claims that which you announced on our show, by the way. He got credit for it, but you announced it on our show that you had a falling out with a guy who tried to molest you, and he might have disappeared. Yeah. So he was posting about that too, about all the problems you had. Let me ask you this. Everybody knows that Hannibal tried to commit suicide, but instead of someone that just commits suicide, he decides that he's going to go on air to show everybody that he tried to commit suicide.
Oh, he admitted to it?
Oh, he went on air, showing everybody what he did. He was in the hospital.
Okay, now I know I can't be friends with him, man, because if he's like that, one night when I'm sleeping, he might show up and kill me. Everybody told me it was a whack job. Everybody was getting on to me. Marty, what are you doing? What are you doing with him? He's fucked up. He's fucked up. Look at his interviews. He looks slow. He looks retarded. Or he talks retarded, when he asks, oh, what do you think happened, bro? I mean, it does appear that. But if he's stabbing himself and other people, I don't need to be around it.
Well, again, give the guy props. He was the OG of the, it started with Sean Oliver with the shoot interviews, but he was smart enough to find YouTube, I think, when it first started and start doing his shit and making his money. But again, you're right. How about this one? He said you're not allowed in Canada, but he's never been arrested. And why I guess you had wrote on your Facebook page that he beat up somebody, a woman, and then he went to jail or something.
Everybody knows that.
Well, I do know. I think he was living with some indie wrestler. I think her name was Blaze or something. And the rumor has it something went down there. But let me ask you this then. He's saying you can't go to Canada because of your history. He can live in the United States because he doesn't have any issues.
I don't know what his issues are. I can't go to Canada. That's true. Because of DUI. Canada won't let you in for DUI. They'll let terrorists in, but they won't let you in with a DUI. I mean, I used to like Canada because I had a lot of girls there. But once they did that shit to me, like cutting me off from coming, I see we're right at that hour, aren't we? That's how fuck Canada. And they call me all the time for shows. Come do a show, come do a show. I can't get in. Fuck.
Wish everybody out there watching. We're going to post this. I'm sorry for the YouTube link. I'll get that up. I do apologize. Thank you all for joining us on the Facebook page. The great Marty Jannetty. Marty, I want to wish you and your beautiful other half a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You too, man.
And you know what? You're a true man. And if you do show back up on Hannibal's channel,
are you going to be mad?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But again,
you think I'm an idiot, right?
Yeah, but that's hey, look, that's me. What am I going to tell you? You know what I mean?
Okay, if you ask me right now, ask me right now. Will I make up with him?
Will you make up with him?
If he apologizes.
Exactly.
If he says, "Man, I overreacted."
So let's end it with this, Marty. Give your parting words to Hannibal about his videos. That's that's your olive leaf. That's your Thanksgiving gift to the on the cusp Hannibal.
Hannibal, I know you're seeing this. What the fuck happened to you, man? I thought we were boys. Why would you do that shit? Man, there's so many things I could do that I won't. I'm gonna give you a chance, bro. I'm gonna give you a chance. Right.
With that, the great Marty Jannetty, everybody. Marty, God bless.
That is a great comment. I can't disagree with that at all. But since you're about complete honesty,
Vamp's a lot more than a wrestler, my friend.
Dude, my friend, we know this, and this is why you're not going to get this type of shit anywhere else, right?
They're not asking about our bars. That's it.
That's right. We don't care about what you did in 1990.
I do.
89, putting somebody in a. But anyway,
that's rough.
My point is, unfortunately, the agent that you're working with, who's a good friend of the show, decided it was okay to put you on Hannibal, who's a very popular YouTube show.
Yeah, well,
and
what? Go ahead.
Can you let me finish?
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Please, by all means.
So again, it's like putting Vampiro on Carson, and then putting him on Letterman, and that's like, so which becomes a problem. So anyway, since you're such a man of honesty, which I believe, shut up.
Let him finish.
Anyway,
Let him finish.
Thank you. Since you're a man of honesty. I listened to your interview, which was fantastic, by the way.
Absolutely.
I will tell you, incredible. I thought
no
it was. If I didn't know who you were, and I just picked up that video, I was highly impressed.
Oh wow! All right.
Thank you.
But I would say at the end of the video, you thanked Mr. Hannibal for what he's done for the wrestling industry, what he's doing for wrestlers, what he's doing on his YouTube channel. So I asked you this.
Sure.
Mr. Hannibal decided in Texas just a week ago, which is getting tons of media attention, that he hired someone, a referee, some young kid who just wants to be part of the industry, to bleed in one of his matches, and he decided, hey, it's okay. I'm just going to hold this kid down because I'm 300 pounds. I'm strong, and I'm going to jab him with a metal spike until I hit his arteries, even though the kid was begging to be released, and beat the shit out of him until he bled and had to go to the hospital. I ask you this, sir. How do you respect a man who you quoted did something great for this industry, who consistently takes advantage of people who just want to be in the industry that you have been in? You used the word fanboy. You used the word mark. These guys will do anything to be part of it, to take advantage and hurt another human being like this, just to get himself over. Is this a man that has done so much for this industry?
Okay. So when I say to Hannibal, when I say to you, when I say to Eric, when I say to anybody, thank you for what you've done to the industry, and trying to remember exactly what I said, you help keep this alive and grow.
You said we've known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
I know the trials and tribulations you've went through.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving the opportunity, because you're the guy that asked the hard questions. I'm not sure what hard questions you asked.
No.
Okay.
That I have to officially.
And you said thank you.
Yeah.
And this, by the way, this is a guy who sued Abdullah the Butcher, who you trained with.
Yeah, I know all about it.
Right?
I get it.
For giving him hepatitis C, and then decides it's okay to stab a guy with a spike and then lick his blood afterwards.
Well, yeah.
Okay. So Well, I was getting there.
Go ahead.
But I can see that you're emotional.
I'm not emotional.
I needed to let you get
Trust
that out.
me, there is no emotion here, brother.
So,
I'm telling you.
After everything that I've done and been through in my life, and coming back from the brink of death, I've made a promise to whatever it is that I'm believing in, that it doesn't matter. I'm absolutely incapable of judging something that I have no part of, because I didn't write that book. So whatever karma he has to pay in the end, that's on him. I'm writing my book. And if you allow me the opportunity to do an interview and somebody gets influenced by that, I'm very grateful for it. So even if you're a fucking piece of shit,
okay,
I'm going to say thank you to you, because whatever you're a piece of shit about has nothing to do with me.
Right. Okay.
And I don't have an opinion on what he did because, one, I wasn't there. It's hearsay to me because I've heard a few versions of it. Do I agree with it? I don't even want to say if I agree or I don't agree.
With all due respect, sir, it's
Sure.
not hearsay. It's video.
Okay, but
it's been covered.
I didn't see it, and I don't want to see it because I don't want to have that in my train of thought. I don't want to have that image in my head. I'm in the first stages of Alzheimer's, so I'm doing very extreme therapy to be conscious for more than 10 minutes at a time. Right. So I have absolutely no space in my living being to allow anything that's negative or hurtful in there. If he purposely hurt somebody, the only thing I can say is street justice will come and cash that check. I mean, you cannot fuck with people, and you can't fuck with the universe. And for whatever demons he's battling that put him in the position that he needed to do that, he'll have to answer for that. I don't. So I don't want to even deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
Spiritually speaking.
And I've known the motherfucker for a long time. I know everything about the guy. And I know he's got a long, long list of people who want to cash that check. But I've never had that problem. So I judge you on the way you've treated me.
Sure.
And if you're a piece of shit, I don't know about it because you've always shook my hand and looked me in the eye.
Right.
I'm worried about you right now, not about, because I was a gang member. I was in organized crime. I was a drug user. I was a drug addict. I was a bad motherfucker. I can't judge somebody because I've been there.
Can I ask you about your gang member stuff?
Yeah,
right?
Of course. You can ask me about anything, brother.
Obviously, you explained yourself well on his show, and totally understand, because the one thing you did say, which hit home to me, is you had to eat. Totally get I have to eat.
The fucking American dream ain't made out of apple pie, brother.
Damn straight. Totally get it. But do you look back at your life now, because you've been blessed, right? You became a very popular wrestler in one of the greatest organizations in the history of wrestling.
The human race.
Sure.
Yep.
Do you look back on your life now when you think about those things that, I don't know what you did as a gang member. I'm assuming you stole. I'm assuming.
Collections, armed robberies.
Sure. And I don't want to go further because I don't know, right? But
that's pretty much it.
Okay. When you look back at your life, are you like, is that karma? I mean, you hurt people, right? Or you stole from people, and then you end up being one of these guys. I mean, shit, you go on the internet, people love you. You have your own show. People love you. I mean, is that karma?
I don't think they love me. They love what I'm representing. And you got to be very careful about your ego. And I didn't hurt innocent people. I was paid to go collect money from pimps and drug dealers. And I was okay with that because they were the scum of the earth. And somebody had to do it. It is what it is.
Almost like the mafia, right? Part of the family.
It most definitely was the mafia.
Understood.
So being a practicing ritual magician, one of the very first lessons I've learned is you need to learn how to first defeat your ego, which is a brutal fucking battle. But you need to learn, once you understand reframing. So do I regret my past, or what lessons, why was I put in that position, and what lesson was I there for to learn? And it was the greatest education because it's made me be able to, when I'm trying to rehabilitate a young man coming out of a prison, or a gang member, or a drug addict, or somebody who's been involved in domestic violence, or whatever it is you want to talk about, I don't have to go in there and try to convince him that he's in a safe place with me, because he sees my posture, my look, he understands that I speak the language. So even though I fucked up, and I'm lucky to be alive. It was for a reason. And it wasn't to be a bad motherfucker. It was to be a smarter adult.
Couple things I want to cover, Jimmy.
Yeah.
500 level has now improved on the M&P code. Now go to MP30 for 30% off. Jimmy, I got to tell you something, right? I was at the beach, again, 500 level. If you guys haven't looked at the shirts, right, go to the website. It's incredible. And I got to be honest, right? So it was a little chilly today. I brought the dogs to the beach. I was off work for the Jewish holidays,
today.
right?
It's cold.
It was cold,
Yeah.
but I have from 500 level, I have a Roman Reigns sweatshirt. Now, usually sweatshirts are not always the nicest fabric, unless I'm into really nice fabric because I just don't like things up against my skin. So usually I'll get thinner type of shirts, but this is a heavy sweatshirt. The fabric, unbelievable. And you're going to get a deal at 30% off, Jimmy. I mean, my God, it's a no-brainer, guys. I am telling you, once you get one shirt from them, you'll get 50. I guarantee it. And they've got all the sports. Yeah, dude, tell me what you think of it, Jimmy.
They're so comfortable. I got to get a long sleeve now. I'm telling you, I got to, because it was chilly today, especially for a guy who's been in Panama City Beach the last 2 years. It was chilly today, and I love the material. It's so silky. Is that the right word for it? I don't know.
No, absolutely. Absolutely, dude.
It's so comfortable. So, yeah, I got to get myself some leveled long sleeves. That's for sure. 30%.
And again,
off,
it doesn't, they got plenty of wrestling stuff. They got baseball stuff. They've got football. They got everything, dude. MMA. They got it all, man. And I'm telling you, it's very high quality. Again, 500 level code MP30, 30% off. So if a T-shirt costs you $20, what's 30% off on $20, dude?
It's enough. 10 plus another 20% tacked on top. Not much. It's a steal. It's a steal.
I agree. I want to remind everybody too, the Monte and the Pharaoh show, hit the QR code, be willing to check out our shows on YouTube, where we got almost 24,000 subscribers. Go to our Facebook page where we're approaching 27,000 subscribers. And again, if you feel like donating to the show, please go to the Monte and the Pharaoh webpage, hit donate. Helps us bring in more guests. Trying to entertain Jim. We've got the big event coming up, so a lot of good stuff happening right now.
Hey man, what you gonna do when it all comes back to you? Think, man, what you gonna say when it all falls away? Today, nothing ever found. Take a look around above the ground. There's no love out on the streets today. It's a mystery. Some say there's a better way. People love to talk to ease the pain. No way it's ever gonna solve a thing. Speak out, love to hear your voice. War and hate that seem to be the drugs of choice. Tell me what tomorrow brings. It's a mystery.